Is it okay to have the screen?
It's fine.
Okay, thank you.
So my question does become, what the hell are you people doing here? Coincidentally, I'll tell you what you're doing. You are playing the role of a Toastmaster. The very thing that makes you a success as a Toastmaster will lead to failure if you use it the wrong way. I know this because one evening I was sitting home at dinner with my wife, and she enjoys using the word "like" as a filler word. And so I sat there and I just began counting, and she realized what I was doing, and it didn't win me any brownie points. I explained to her that in Toastmasters I would have been ding, honk, and that doesn't go well at the family dinner table. Well, these roles that we play, they're completely appropriate here at Verizon. If you're a Verizon employee, play that Verizon role, climb the success ladder. But if you take that home, trouble awaits you. And you do not want this. So what do I mean? Well, have you ever brought work home? So have you ever been wearing your work hat or your gavel, we'll call this your work role, been using your gavel at work to direct people around, to make stuff happen, and you get home and all of a sudden your children's room is not as neat as you would like it. So you begin using that same work gavel, and all of a sudden your kids think you're a fascist dictator. Not the correct use of a work role to a home role. Well, have you ever been sitting around the dinner table and you let a word slip out that would have been more appropriate for, perhaps sitting around drinking with your buddies, and all of a sudden your children now know a new phrase to use in front of their teachers, grandparents, etc. So the real example of the way that roles do not transition well in our lives comes in the method of a Freudian slip. I'm sure you guys know what that means, but if you don't, it's when you unconsciously say something at a very inopportune moment. Looking for research on the best Freudian slip that's ever been caught on film, I found a newscaster who was reporting on a basketball game. And she said in the second half of the game, this player's double dribble, really pushed them ahead of their team, and they were able to take the championship. So I thought, for sure, that's a great example of how roles sometimes meld in ways that are not really good in our lives. So as I began to research this topic a couple years back, I wanted to find out, how can someone wear a hat, if you will, have a certain role in their life, and transition well between one and the other? And so I found a man who was able to do that extremely well. He was a martial artist. I asked him, "Sir, how do you be a good father or a good employee and a good martial artist?" And he said, the key to success in changing roles in society is understanding how to manifest the correct energy for each role at the appropriate time. So that's a long-winded way of explaining that. I'm going to break it down to you in really small, simple steps using my hats that I've worn in my life and the roles that I've played to help you understand how to put this into practice. So when I was in the Marine Corps, I wore the Marine Corps hat, literally and figuratively. Here it is. And so this hat allows you to run around in the woods and look really high speed and cool and play Call of Duty and feel like you're really getting something done in your life. And this is great if you are leading men in combat. However, it cost me some relationships. It cost me some happiness because I'd get home and I didn't know how to take this hat off. So I was supposed to be wearing my casual hat, my boyfriend hat, my son hat, but I wasn't. I was wearing the Marine Corps hat. And in the Marine Corps, they say, once a Marine, always a Marine. And that's because the Marine Corps never teaches you how to take this hat off. So if you've met these old grizzled veterans who only have to say, that's how they walk around in life. They're wearing that hat. They haven't learned how to take it off. So I got out of the Marine Corps, wore this hat for about 5 seconds before I decided that even not in the Marine Corps, I was more comfortable wearing this hat. Isn't it funny how we get more comfortable in certain roles? We're used to them. I'm comfortable. I know what this hat can do for me. I know the image it projects. I know what I can and can't be in this hat. And so then I got a job as a park ranger. And this was the hat they wanted me to wear. So when I was busy keeping bears from stealing picnic baskets, every once in a while, I'd forget I was wearing the park ranger hat. Somebody would go to pick a flower in a national park, and all of a sudden the Marine would come out, and I'd say, "Sir, do you have any idea that's the last flower of that kind in the entire world? Hope you take that home, put it in a book, press it. Your grandkids need to know what that looks like, because you just got the last one." That's not how you handle things in the Park Service, so my supervisors informed me. You're supposed to be very nice, gentle, be very affectionate and caring toward your park visitor. Sir, did you know that that's an endangered species? Myself and the American people would really appreciate it if you wouldn't rip that out of the ground. This is a national park. So these different roles that we play. And I'd get home, and I'm supposed to be wearing the husband hat, supposed to be wearing the son hat, the sibling hat, the friend hat. But every once in a while, the Park Service role would come out. And in the Park Service, they move at about the speed that a redwood tree grows. So if you need something done, well, sir, we need this filled out in triplicate. We need you to bury it under peat moss. We need you to dig it up in 3 months, see if it's still readable. If it is, we'll lose it, query it, find it, and lose it again. Welcome to the National Park Service. That doesn't work at home. Sometimes the wife needs the bathroom cleaned now. The dishes were supposed to be done yesterday. These roles that we play, very difficult. However, if you remember that when you're playing your roles, there are appropriate ones for every situation. Because every once in a while, even out of the Marine Corps, I need to put the Marine hat on. Usually when I need to get something done that I'm procrastinating. The roles that we play are useful in different situations. Understanding when they're appropriate is key. However, the ultimate lesson that martial arts master taught me was that we wear a lot of hats in life, but it's important to remember that when we enter and leave this world, we wear no hats at all. So the ultimate goal of self-cultivation is to get rid of your hats, one at a time. Thank you.
All right.